everyone, I'm Olivia Musco, and I'm here to share with you about my journey with an eating disorder. To many of you, it is no secret I have struggled with an eating disorder. I've been quite open and honest about my journey, and today I'm here to continue the conversation and bring awareness to this potentially deadly disease. Eating disorders are not glamorous. Though media may portray it that way, I can tell you from personal experience, it is anything but. Eating disorders are full of misery, darkness, and never-ending pain. It's a never-ending battle, back and forth, over and over and over again. Many people believe it's a choice, a phase, an act for attention, or something people can just drop when they're skinny enough. Many people believe it's a choice. When you have an eating disorder, you're never skinny enough, you're never pretty enough, you're never smart enough, you are never enough. None of that exists. It doesn't exist until it kills you. And even then, you were never enough. That's what an eating disorder is. It's an illness, a poison, a murderer. It's not a choice. It's a sacred secret you dare not speak of, but deep down you wish someone knew. Eating disorders thrive on secrecy, shame, and guilt. It hates you, yet it loves you. You want it gone, but you can't let go. It's an abusive relationship. An eating disorder tells you you're fat, ugly, stupid, unloved, annoying, attention-seeking. An eating disorder is out to kill you. You can't tell anybody because you'll just ruin everything. You'll ruin your relationships. You'll hear comments like, oh, you're just looking for attention. You don't look like you have an eating disorder. And a common cure is to just eat. If I could just eat, I would, but it's not that simple. It's not a choice. I was always someone who loved to be involved in anything and everything. School, sports, volunteering, you name it. I was the co-president of my high school, captain of sports teams, and I couldn't wait to go to university and see what this world had to offer. In grade 12, my life got turned upside down when I was diagnosed with anorexia nervosa. The rule was, life stops until you eat, and that's exactly what happened. My life stopped, gone, in the blink of an eye. My grades dropped, I lost friendships, and there was no university in sight. I was isolated, alone, and blind to the fact that I was dying. When doctors told me my organs were shutting down, my eating disorder told me they were lying, and I believed that. When I was told that I wasn't allowed to go to school unless I took a bite of my breakfast, I simply left the table and went back to my room. I no longer cared about school. I no longer cared about myself or anything around me. I couldn't just eat. Eating disorders are a coping mechanism. For me, it was a sense of control, a sense of purpose, and a way to numb the pain within. I needed help, and that's what I got. But unfortunately, resources are not very accessible, and for many, lives are lost. Eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of all psychiatric illnesses, and in May of 2016, we decided it was time to speak up. In May of 2016, Steph Shaw, Randy Babcock, and I decided to share our stories in Sarnia's local newspapers. We wanted to share with people how serious this illness is and what little help there is. I have been very fortunate to have received treatment, but it was not easy to get there. My family and I had to travel all across the province for appointments, day treatment, inpatient, and residential treatment. I have even met people from across the country because there is such a lack of resources. Even when there are resources, most of them are not covered by OHIP or insurance, leaving most people lost and unsure. No one wants to feel lost. No one wants to feel unsure, and no one wants to feel alone. Eating disorders are not a choice. To this day, I find it difficult to fully express what goes on within my mind. When I share my story with people, I feel like I'm sharing a dream I had, but it wasn't a dream. It is my life, my journey, and my story. Looking back at my journals from the darkest of times, it feels surreal. I can recall everything perfectly, yet I feel like it never happened. Those days spent crying in hospital beds, screaming over broccoli and pears, watching everyone's lives move forward except mine. I became more and more discouraged. Doctors doubted me, therapists doubted me. I doubted myself. No one could heal if they don't believe or have hope. Sometimes you need others to believe in you before you can believe in yourself. We don't expect you to understand everything going on in our minds. Heck, we don't always understand what's going on in our minds. We just need you to believe. Believe and have hope until we can believe and have hope in ourselves. Have patience. It's like when someone has a brain injury or a broken leg. It doesn't heal overnight. It takes time, and so does recovery from an eating disorder. When I think about everyone who has helped me, I know they all believed in me. They believed in me when I wasn't able to believe in myself, and slowly with time and patience, I began to have hope. I traveled the country and created memories outside of the walls of a hospital. I created memories with loved ones. I was getting my life back. I began nursing school at Lambton College last year, stepped back onto the soccer field after having to take many years off. New friendships flourished. I caught a glimpse of what I had lost. Unfortunately, with the limited resources, I was unable to navigate this new world on my own. And once again, I found myself in the depths of an eating disorder. This time a year ago, I found myself back at Homeward Health Center in Guelph. This time, however, I decided I needed treatment. I was an adult now, and it was up to me. I had to choose recovery. I had to choose to live. That is why I found it to be the hardest admission I've ever had, because I had to do it for myself. It took time, hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. It was not easy by any means. I couldn't just eat. I had to fight the demons within and put myself first for once. I thought it was selfish, and at the beginning of this admission, I had extreme guilt for being able to receive treatment. I believe everyone deserved it more than I. I needed to be selfish, not in a rude way, but I needed to put myself first. I had a glimpse of what life had to offer, and I needed to remind myself of that every day. This was not the life that I imagined, but it is my reality, and I needed to accept that. I never wanted to die. No one wants to die. But sometimes you just get so sick and tired of the chaos never stopping, you wish you could just have some silence. Suicide is very common in eating disorders. In fact, 1 in 5 people with anorexia die from suicide. Eating disorders are not a choice. On August 6, 2016, Steph Shaw lost her life to suicide. Steph was a ray of sunshine. She was an athlete known by all and loved by all. But she struggled, and with the lack of help and resources, her demons took her away from us. In the news article we did in May of 2016, Steph said, and I quote, "I want people to know that you can die from an eating disorder, just like you can die from cancer, but eating disorders don't get anywhere near the same attention." Steph lost her life to mental illness, but her voice will never be lost. She is only one of many who have lost their life to an eating disorder, but I won't let their voices go unheard. Eating disorders are not a choice. They're not glamorous, and they are not a phase. You can't just eat, and it doesn't just go away with a quick fix. It takes time and patience, hope. I am here to bring awareness and continue the conversation with you today, but I hope for you to all bring awareness and continue the conversation after this and every day forward. Eating disorders can be deadly, but the stigma and silence that surrounds it is even more so. Thank you.